9:17 a.m. International waters, local time. High above a calm stretch of international waters, a U.S. Navy patrol aircraft maintains steady altitude during a routine maritime surveillance mission. Clear skies, normal visibility, no warning indicators. Below, the sea appears quiet, but sensors tell a different story. 9:20 a.m. Surface contact. Identified radar aboard the aircraft detects a single surface combatant operating below. Identification follows quickly. According to unverified OSINT aviation and maritime tracking data, the vessel matches the profile of a Russian Navy warship operating independently. Distance, approximately 12 nautical miles. At this range, the encounter is considered routine monitoring. 9:24 a.m. Pattern of interest. The aircraft maintains course. The Russian warship does not maneuver away. Instead, analysts later note the ship appears to track the aircraft's movement, adjusting heading slightly to remain beneath the patrol path. This alone is not hostile, but it is intentional. 9:27 a.m. Electronic activity. Detected electronic support systems aboard the aircraft register new emissions from the warship. Not weapons radar, not fire control, something else. According to unverified defense analysis, the emissions align with optical electronic systems, often used for tracking, ranging, or illumination. This raises attention levels inside the aircraft. 9:30 a.m. Why laser systems matter. Modern warships carry laser-based systems for multiple purposes. Target ranging. Optical sensor blinding defensive countermeasures. They are precise, directional, and dangerous to aircraft sensors and pilots. Activation does not mean an attack, but use against an aircraft crosses a sensitive line. 9:33 a.m. Altitude holds, course unchanged. The U.S. aircraft does not deviate. No evasive maneuver, no sudden climb, no radio challenge. This is deliberate. Changing course prematurely could be interpreted as acknowledgement of intimidation. The aircraft continues its mission. 9:36 a.m. Laser illumination event. Unverified. Suddenly, onboard sensors register an unexpected spike. At the same moment, the flight crew reports brief visual interference through optical systems. According to unverified reports, a directed laser emission from the Russian warship appears to illuminate the aircraft. Duration, seconds, but seconds are enough. 9:38 a.m. Why this is serious. Laser illumination is not benign. Even low-power systems can damage optical sensors. Temporarily blind pilots interfere with flight safety. International aviation norms treat such actions as unsafe and escalatory. Inside the aircraft, alert levels rise immediately. 9:41 a.m. Aircraft systems check. The crew performs rapid assessments. Sensor integrity, flight control response, visual capability. No critical damage is detected, but the message is clear. The aircraft has been deliberately illuminated. 9:44 a.m. Reporting up the chain. The incident is immediately reported through secure channels. According to analysts, regional command receives the alert. Naval forces in the area are notified. The warship's behavior is flagged as unsafe. This is no longer a routine patrol. 9:48 a.m. The warship maintains course below. The Russian warship does not alter course. No apology, no withdrawal, no visible signal. Its sensors remain active. This suggests the illumination was intentional, not accidental. 9:52 a.m. Why this moment is dangerous. At this point, several escalation paths exist. Aircraft withdraws and escorts arrive. Warship repeats illumination. Defensive measures are authorized. Any one of these could turn an unsafe encounter into a military incident. 9:56 a.m. Airspace gets busier. According to unverified aviation observers, additional U.S. assets begin adjusting flight patterns in the broader area. Nothing aggressive, nothing visible to the public, but awareness expands. 10:01 a.m. Command decision. Pending, the patrol aircraft continues to fly, but now under heightened rules. The crew waits, the warship watches, and decision-makers weigh their next move. 10:04 a.m. A second illumination. Sensors detect another brief emission spike. Shorter, weaker, but unmistakable. Is this escalation or testing limits? No one knows yet. 10:06 a.m. a U.S. Navy aircraft has been illuminated by a foreign warship's laser system. No crash, no shot fired, no public statement, but the line has been crossed. What happens next depends on how the U.S. chooses to respond, in the air, at sea, and behind closed doors. 10:07 a.m. Command response begins within minutes of the second laser illumination. The incident is elevated from flight safety concern to a potential hostile interaction. According to unverified defense sources, U.S. regional command command authorizes a shift in posture, not aggressive, but no longer passive. The patrol aircraft is instructed to continue the mission, while additional assets quietly reposition. 10:11 a.m. Escort authorization. Behind the scenes, a decision is made. If the laser illumination continues, the aircraft will not remain alone. According to unverified OSINT observers, a U.S. Navy fighter element operating from a nearby carrier group is placed on standby alert. Engines ready, weapons cold, orders restrained. 10:15 a.m. Radio silence broken. For the first time, communication is attempted. The U.S. aircraft transmits a standard international aviation safety warning, advising the surface vessel to cease unsafe activity. No accusation, no threat, just procedure. The Russian warship does not respond. 10:18 a.m. The warship changes behavior. Something shifts. Sensors show the Russian vessel's optical systems powering down briefly, then reactivating in a different configuration. Analysts later suggest this could indicate system recalibration power adjustment or a transition to a different mode. This creates uncertainty, the most dangerous variable in military encounters. 10:22 a.m. Escort launch, unverified. According to unconfirmed aviation tracking data, two fast-moving contacts depart a U.S. carrier group operating in the region. Their course is indirect, their altitude controlled, they are not rushing in, but they are coming. 10:26 a.m. The message is sent without words. The patrol aircraft remains on station. The Russian warship maintains course. But now, both sides know something critical. This encounter is being closely watched, and escalation will not happen in isolation. 10:29 a.m. No third illumination. Minutes pass. No new laser spike. No sensor interference. No visual disturbance. This absence is meaningful. Military analysts later note that if intimidation was the goal, it has already been delivered. Repeating it now would invite consequences. 10:33 a.m. Escort arrives at range. The U.S. fighters do not overfly the warship. They do not lock radar. They remain visible but distant, flying a parallel track well within international norms. This is presence, not provocation. 10:37 a.m. Shift in Russian posture. Radar data indicates the Russian warship alters heading slightly, breaking the direct tracking alignment with the patrol aircraft. Optical emissions reduce. Laser systems remain inactive. This is subtle, but deliberate. 10:41 a.m. De-escalation. Window opens with escorts present and unsafe activity paused. Command assesses options. Continue patrol and risk renewed illumination. Withdraw to avoid further confrontation. Rotate aircraft while maintaining presence. The decision aims for control, not escalation. 10:45 a.m. Patrol aircraft handoff. According to unverified operational analysis, the aircraft begins preparing for a controlled handoff, maintaining observation while reducing direct exposure. Mission accomplished. Message received. Line drawn. 10:50 a.m. Warship holds distance. The Russian vessel does not pursue. No additional emissions. No challenge. No escalation. The incident for now is over. 11:02 a.m. Aftermath begins. What the public sees. No press release. No official confirmation. No footage. What happens behind closed doors. Incident reports filed. Sensor data analyzed. Diplomatic channels. Quietly engaged laser illumination incidents are treated seriously, even when no damage occurs. Why this incident matters. This was not about a laser. It was about testing boundaries. A laser is precise, deniable, just short of force, and that makes it a perfect tool for gray zone confrontation. Final assessment. No shots fired, no aircraft damaged, no sailors harmed, but a clear message was exchanged. Unsafe actions will be noticed, presence will be maintained, escalation will be met, calmly but firmly. In modern military standoffs, restraint is not weakness, it is strategy. This encounter ended quietly, but the tactics used and the response chosen are shaping how future air-sea confrontations will unfold. Because next time, the reaction may not be this restrained,